Hello and welcome to African News on VOP TV. I am Fina Okechukwu. We begin the news from Togo, where the Togo government has delayed parliamentary and regional elections amid tensions following controversial constitutional reforms. The reform approved by lawmakers last week replaced the presidential system with a parliamentary one. It also hands executive power to the prime minister, reducing the presidency to a symbolic role. Also in the new system, the president will be selected by parliament without debate for a single 6-year term, rather than being directly elected. However, opposition parties have rejected the reform, fearing it could lead President Faure Gnassingbé's stay in power. Faure succeeded his father, Gnassingbé Eyadema, who died in 2005 after ruling the country with an iron fist for 38 years. You may recall that presidency announced a postponement of the elections on Wednesday, but did not give a new date for the polls, which were initially due to be held on the 20th of April, saying that the delay was to allow for consultation over the contested constitutional changes. Reacting to the situation, the Conference of Togolese Catholic Bishops urged President Gnassingbé not to sign the constitutional changes into law, citing the need for broad consultation and a more inclusive national debate, noting that the constitution change was approved almost unanimously, with one person voting against and one other abstaining. The Member of Parliament for Yendi and Chairman of the Muslim Caucus in Ghana's Parliament, Alhaji Farouk Aliyu Mahama, has urged Muslim faithfuls and Ghanaians to continue to embrace the nation's acclaimed peace and unity. Speaking at the 13th Annual Night of Power, organized annually by the Muslim Caucus of Parliament during the last 10 days of Ramadan prayer for the nation, Aliyu charged Ghanaians to be accommodative regardless of religious or political affiliation. In attendance at the event are Vice President and flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, as well as other dignitaries, including members of diplomatic corps. Focusing on the nation, Farouk emphasized the need for unity, irrespective of political views and affiliation, affirming that citizens should uphold the principles of honesty, equity, fairness, and human dignity. Kenya's High Court has temporarily suspended the implementation of a $350 levy that was being charged per container for all goods destined for South Sudan. Justice Gregory Mutai, who certified the case as urgent, issued the order pending the hearing of an application by clearing agents under the umbrella of Kenya International Freight and Warehousing Association, KIFWA, who are challenging the levy. However, KIFWA claims that the Mombasa Monitoring Station National Revenue Authorities of South Sudan issued a directive that they should pay the money to a private company in Uganda, Invesco Uganda Limited, for a tracking system, christened Mandatory Electronic Cargo Tracking Note, ECTN. Media reports that KIFWA has also been ordered to serve the monitoring station with case documents within 3 days for inter-parties hearing on the 9th of April. An activist, exiled journalist and critic, Wani Michael, has demanded the total disbandment of South Sudan's National Security Service, NSS, following the arrest of former Juba City Mayor Callisto Lado. He condemns the NSS for alleged human rights abuses and exceeding its constitutional mandates. Recall that Callisto Lado's detention sparked public outcry and calls for his release. Michael argued that the NSS is an intelligence agency and not a law enforcement body with powers to detain individuals like the police. He noted that the NSS don't have any constitutional mandate to detain any accused person as framed by the principle according to Article 159, Paragraph 3 of the Constitution. Furthermore, the activists criticized the NSS, saying that its action violates the South Sudan's Constitution and international human rights law, and that it is important to push for the total disbandment of this notorious institution that has totally disrespected the Constitution, the rule of law, and fundamental international recognized human rights instrument in South Sudan. Sections of Omdurman were retaken from the Rapid Support Forces RSF by the Sudan Armed Forces SAF, marking one of the SAF's few victories after months of humiliating retreats and territorial losses since fighting broke out nearly a year ago. Sudan's army, once regarded as a formidable force, has spent 11 months struggling and often failing to maintain control over vital national territory. This includes losing much of the Darfur region and most of the capital region and large swathes of the agricultural El Jazara region. At the onset of the war, the heavily armed SAF dominated the skies and possessed heavy weaponry. The army's financial stability stemmed from controlling various business ventures ranging from farms to oil fields. However, these advantages were swiftly nullified as the highly mobile, lightly armed RSF received financial backing from the United Arab Emirates, weaponry from Russia's Wagner Group known as African Corps, and fuel from supporters based in South Sudan. An 80-year-old U.S. woman has been killed by an aggressive elephant after it charged at a vehicle during a safari drive in Zambia, local officials said. The attacks occurred on Saturday at Kafue National Park in the west of the country after the vehicle carrying the tourist stopped because it had become trapped by terrain and vegetation and couldn't maneuver its way out of the elephant's path. In a video circulating online, the large elephant could be seen flipping the car carrying 6 people over several times. An 80-year-old woman who has not been named died of injuries. Officials said her remains will be repatriated to the U.S. in the coming days. 4 other guests sustained minor injuries and are receiving trauma counseling. However, Kate Vincent said that the incident is tragic and they extend their deepest condolences to the family of the guests who died, adding that they are also naturally supporting those guests and the guide involved in the distress incidents. Police and Department of National Parks and Wildlife are investigating the incident. Zimbabwe's neighbors, Zambia and Botswana, have raised concern about increasing elephant population in their respective countries. Zimbabwe has recorded deadly elephant attack in recent years. Meanwhile, confrontation between suspected land grabbers and locals at Jebel Lado of Lado Payam, Joba County of Central Equatoria in South Sudan has resulted in 1 fatality and 1 injury. According to local sources, the clash erupted on Tuesday afternoon when a hidden assailant fatally shot a community member, Charles Gore, after the police arrived to send the land grabbers out of the county. Police spokesman Major General Daniel Justin confirmed the incident but couldn't provide the exact casualty count, saying that he is not sure of the exact number of people who have been wounded or killed, but that a young man from the community was killed and 1 other person was wounded. The Community Empowerment for Progress Organization, CEPO, denounced the incident, calling upon the Central Equatorial State government to intervene and prevent further escalation and the occurrence of deadly violence between land grabbers and host communities of Lado Payam around Jebel Lado of Joba County. Land governance in Central Equatorial State is likely to trigger deadly violence, and the National Parliament must act on this matter if the government of Central Equatorial State fails to produce immediate remedies. The Alliance of Citizens for Change, ACC, has secured the coveted top spot on the national ballot for the upcoming general election in South Africa. The ACC, led by former Democratic Alliance member Masizole Mukwasela, is making its electoral debut after being formed just last year. Recall that the Independent Electoral Commission of South Africa, IEC, has determined the order of appearance on the ballot paper for the 52 political parties contesting the national elections through a draw held in Midrand earlier today, with the May 29 poll set to feature the longest ballot paper since the dawn of democracy. A total of 52 parties will vie for the electorate attention and vote. This development has stirred anticipation among political parties as securing the top spot on the ballot could potentially influence voters' decisions. In Zimbabwe, yet another record low was reached by the country's currency as citizens rushed to safety for the US dollars amid speculations that an announcement from the central bank regarding the fate of the local unit is imminent. The Zimbabwe dollar was traded at 22,476 against the greenback, bringing its losses this year to 73%, marking the world's second worst performance after the Lebanese pound. A sense of urgency has gripped the nation after the start date of the new governor, John Mushuavanhu, was brought forward by a month by authorities. The move, as reported by local media, was made to announce a new currency plan that may include embracing the gold standard. The Southern African nation's unstable currency poses the risk of sending the nation back into hyperinflation 15 years after its old local dollar had been abandoned. The latest two Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe governors, John Mangudia and Gideon Gono, failed to bring order to the exchange rate despite multiple efforts. These efforts include the launch of gold coins and gold-backed digital token under Mangudia's watch, while Gono repeatedly slashed zeros off banknotes as hyperinflation spiraled and topped 231 million% in 2008. You're watching African News on VOP TV. We'll bring you more stories after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. And now to business. Uganda is set to mark a significant milestone in its mining sector with the commissioning of its inaugural tin refining plant in the southwestern region next month. The move underscores the country's commitment to expanding capacity and adding value domestically to its minerals. Irene Betibe, a senior official from the Energy and Mineral Development Ministry, revealed that Woodcross Resources, a Uganda-based mining and mineral trading company, will be spearheading the initiative. The plant is expected to refine tin to over 99% purity and has an annual capacity of more than 1,000 tons, marking a significant step towards maximizing the benefits of mineral exports for the East African nation. The upcoming launch of Uganda's first domestic tin processing plant signals a significant stride in the country's mining sector, aimed at enhancing value addition and maximizing export benefits domestically. Caledonian Mining Corporation, a prominent player in Zimbabwe's mining sector, is eyeing significant expansion with its planned $250 million gold mine in the country. The company, backed by investors including BlackRock and Alan Gray, is in talks with African Development Bank as potential founder for the project. The new mine at Bilboes is poised to become one of Zimbabwe's largest gold mines, with annual production projected to exceed 170,000 ounces. Despite the economic challenges and property right concerns in Zimbabwe, Caledonia remains optimistic about the project's prospects, with CEO Mark Lemont highlighting the interest shown by African development banks in financing the venture. Caledonia Mining Corporation's ambitions and plans for a new gold mine in Zimbabwe highlights the potential for growth and investment in country's mining industry, with talks underway with African development banks for funding. The project underscores investors' confidence in Zimbabwe's mineral-rich landscape. And moving on to sports. In a recent interview with the media, Zambia star Rachel Kundananji has acknowledged the formidable challenge awaiting the team against Morocco in the upcoming first leg of the 2024 Olympic qualifiers scheduled for Friday. Kundananji emphasized the importance of readiness acknowledging that securing victory against Morocco will be no easy feat. She highlighted the significance of thorough preparation, recognizing Morocco as a formidable opponent with ambitions of their own to secure the Olympic Games ticket. Expressing confidence in the team's ability to rise to the challenge, she emphasized the importance of unity and cohesion among the players. The universal language of football, noting the ease with which the team's diversified talents can complement each other on the field. Looking ahead, she also expressed optimism about the team's prospects, anticipating remarkable performances in the upcoming matches fueled by the abundance of talent within the squad. South Africa footballer Luke Fleurs has been shot dead in a car hijacking, police say. The shooting took place at a petrol station Wednesday night in the Johannesburg suburb of Florida. The 24-year-old Kaizer Chiefs star was waiting to be attended to when he was approached by unknown gunmen who ordered him to get out of the vehicle. One of the suspects is reported to have fled the scene with Fleurs' car after the shooting. Kaizer Chiefs, one of the most popular clubs in the country and 12-time league champions, described his death as tragic. Defender Fleurs joined Kaizer Chiefs last year, having previously played for Super Sports United. The former under-22 international represented South Africa at the Tokyo Olympics in 2021. And that is a wrap on African News on VOP TV. Do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow other streaming media platforms. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People TV, and other streaming media platforms, we are VOP TV Live. Join our subsequent bulletins at 4 and 9 p.m. respectively. I am Fina Okechukwu. Good afternoon.